Hey guys, what's up? I just want to talk today about the Jimmy Garoppolo contract restructure. So, as you guys might know, Jimmy Garoppolo had his contract restructured. And so that means he's going to be staying with the 49ers for another year, unless they trade him, which could happen. But what does this mean for Trey Lance? Because I think it means a lot. I know a lot of the media outlets are talking about it, but is enough talking about it? I really want to touch on this because I saw someone tweet out something like, imagine if Trey Lance was in the Trevor Lawrence's position with no pressure behind him, he could thrive. And I thought, you are insane. You are absolutely stupid. If you look at all the quarterbacks drafted in the 2021 NFL draft, you got Zach Wilson to the Jets, Trevor Lawrence to the Jags, and Justin Fields to the Bears, Mac Jones to the Patriots, and Trey Lance to the 49ers. Those are all the first round quarterbacks. And it baffles me. It still baffles me that the 49ers took Trey Lance over Justin Fields. I really do not understand to this day why they did that. I thought pretty much everyone knew Trey Lance was not in that tier. In my opinion, the tier was Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and then drop off Trey Lance, Mac Jones. And the 49ers goofed up. They took Trey Lance. But I believe the 49ers were probably going to cut Jimmy Garoppolo if Trey Lance had given them anything to believe in, whether that's through training camp or preseason. And I think right now, he kind of seems like a guy who can occasionally hit a deep ball. I don't see him hitting much across the middle. I don't see him even making the easy passes. That's what I think they would be okay with Trey Lance if he could just make the quick out route throws, the ones that should just be automatic, ones that he should be able to do in his sleep. Any quarterback can do in their sleep. It should that if he could do those, I think the 49ers don't keep Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they probably cut him because they would just say, Trey Lance, game manage. And this is where my point about that tweet I was talking about, where someone said Trevor Lawrence is in a better situation than Trey Lance. That one of the worst things I've ever heard. If you look at Trevor Lawrence, his best receiver is Christian Kirk. Highly overpaid wide receiver 2 or 3 on the Cardinals. And he's got Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, but that's it. He doesn't even have good receivers, tight ends. He's got Evan Ingram who can barely catch the ball. He might break out this year. That's somebody that I'd say keep an eye on is Evan Ingram, because of Doug Peterson's history with tight ends. But that's besides the point. Trey Lance, he's got George Kittle. He's got Deebo Samuel. He's got Elijah Mitchell's actually a pretty good running back. But the offensive line isn't great. It's good. He's got Trent Williams at left tackle. Trevor Lawrence is dealing with Cam Robinson, who's not that bad of a left tackle, but he's not Trent Williams. So Trey Lance has a cushy situation. He's got a good defense. He has a Super Bowl roster around him. They are waiting on him. And that is why the 49ers kept Jimmy Garoppolo. Because I think deep down in their hearts, they know that weeks into the season, they might have to make a change. It might be because of the injury, because we know Trey Lance has gotten injured in the past. I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is really the the guy you want to put to replace an injury-prone quarterback. Like, I don't know if he's the guy you want, thinking, oh, it's all right, he won't get injured. Jimmy Garoppolo is pretty injury-prone too. But my point is, we can see why they kept Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a guy that has taken them to the Super Bowl before, and he might be able to again if need be. This tells me that they don't believe Trey Lance is ready, and I think Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, are already regretting taking Trey Lance over Justin Fields. And that's something that I think they'll regret for 10 plus years. I mean, I don't know how they did it in the first place. I think they're seeing their mistake now. But if you look at Trevor Lawrence and Trey Lance, to whatever people I might get saying that, yeah, it's tougher trying to play well when you have pressure behind you from Jimmy Garoppolo compared to Trevor Lawrence, who can play terrible and still be the starter. For Trevor Lawrence, you know what the pressure is? Not just for Trevor Lawrence, but for Trevor Lawrence, for Zach Wilson, for Justin Fields, even for Mac Jones. The pressure is save our franchise. Not our franchise, because, the Patriots, but the other three are save our franchise. For the Patriots and all that, you are going to have to carry our team because we are not good enough to have you game manage. To the 49ers, they're telling Trey Lance, game manage. That is all we ask of you. And he can't do that. Reports out of the training camp are his accuracy is not good. He's telegraphing his passes. He's staring down receivers. This is not just from media who people would say hate Trey Lance. No, this is from Vikings players from their joint practices. You can see it in the preseason. Trey Lance has a lot of potential. He does. He has a lot of physical attributes, and he could be good. But the one person who could unlock that is Kyle Shanahan, and he is not unlocking it at this moment. He had him sit for almost a whole year, and then he had an offseason and camp to learn and develop, and he's not ready. To me, that tells me you messed up, and I think it might tell us what Trey Lance is going to be. Maybe nobody. So you can't compare Trey Lance's situation to Trevor's, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. You can't compare those situations and say if Trey Lance was in those situations, he would be doing just fine. No. Also, if you are a quarterback and you are bothered by the quarterback behind you, I don't care if it's Tom Brady, Brett Favre, if the organization you are playing for has said, you are our guy, don't worry about the guy behind you, and you are still worried about him, you're not the guy. I mean, just put it plain simple. If the pressure of Jimmy Garoppolo got to Trey Lance, then guess what? Trey Lance isn't your guy, because that should not faze him. So that's my rant today, what I wanted to talk about. A lot of weird stuff happened with the waivers today. Some surprise cuts, like Tyler Johnson from the Buccaneers, I really didn't see coming. Williams on the Dolphins, that receiver, that was pretty interesting. I didn't see that coming. And yeah, so been a crazy day, but I just had to touch on that. Like, I couldn't believe it. But I'll probably drop another video. So thanks for coming to watch and listening to me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to hear more, and let me know your thoughts in the comments, whether you think I'm stupid, whether you agree with me. But yeah, thanks guys.